Being able to just like control the crowd and how they move and just being completely in the zone was definitely like a reminder on why I do this in the first place.
Once you're on those decks and you gain the crowd's trust and you're able to take them in any direction, see them sing and vibe with the music that you like, it's unmatched.
All the opportunities I've been given so far in my life, whether it's meeting people, getting to play at places, or even turning this into a career, has been so much for me that I want to provide that for others.
I want to make an impact in the music industry is to inspire other Asian Americans, especially females, to be comfortable with putting out their creativity and musical aspirations out there.
I never thought I'd be where I'm at today, playing at these clubs that all my friends have been going to for years and being able to do what I love. And if someone like me can do it, then I want to show everyone else that they can do it as well.
Make sure that you're DJing for the right reasons, whether that be through wanting to express yourself through music or through picking up a hobby that you think just looks cool. Don't forget that why.
I think DJing at the end of it for me has just been a deepening of my relationship with music. And then from there, you can take the risks that you want and you don't have to, and that you don't need to feel the pressure of the world against you. If you want to play music and you want to do that, then do that, and no one really can take that away from you.
Okay, I make it hit and I do what I want. Drip it, drip is a drip, and no higher now, baby, I'm lifting up. I know I got all these eyes on me. All of these eyes on me. I know I got all these eyes on me. Yeah. You know this life ain't free. Kick it out, let it rock in the front. Baseline know how I jump. I already tried saying we up. I don't know when enough is enough. I got the touch. Better I do what I want. 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 It's better I do what I want. Moving real slow, got eyes on me. Let me walk through the room, count mines and trees. That man got another plan for you. Probably best for you, let me talk much. I told her hop in the truck for a lean, cause I got something posted for you in the back. Up to the man. Well, that's tough. A bad bitch gon' do what she wants. Young in the center pin, I'm already pulling up. Got the stars on the roof.
My name is Jacob MESINA. I am 23 years old and I am based out of the San Fernando Valley. What initially drew me to DJing was actually sitting in the shotgun seat of my dad's car, holding my iPod Touch, and I had recently downloaded this app called DJ, and what I found out you could do with it is put two songs together. So I decided to put Anaconda by Nicki Minaj and Push It by Salt and Pepper together, and that's what started my DJ career. The way that I would describe my style and sound is an accumulation of DJs who I've looked up to, inspirations from all walks of life, all translated into the way that I see and feel music. The way that it has evolved throughout the years has been just my experiences accumulating and piling on top of each other to create the DJ that I am today.
Jacob, a little too cheesy, but he is 100% authentic in what he does and really focuses on the art and craft of what this is.
Some of the factors that have influenced these changes are long nights that I spend practicing, the gigs that I come to watch and be inspired by other DJs who I think are dope, as well as just trusting and believing in the person that I want to be and the way that I want to DJ and not looking back. One of the biggest challenges I've faced as a DJ is learning how to properly read a crowd. Growing up and learning how to DJ, I watched DJs who would compete in DJ battles or DJ competitions, and I learned to think that that's the way to DJ. But in reality, my job as a DJ is to play for people, other people, not just for myself. And as I progress in my DJ journey, I'm learning the importance of not only expressing the music I want to, but making sure that I'm focusing on the crowd and the people who are in front of me. The specific moment that had a huge impact on my career was getting the chance to play alongside the person who taught me how to DJ. That DJ is Thurston, and I used to go to his house once a week for about a year just to learn how to DJ when I was around 18 years old. And fast forward a couple years later, I get to stand on the same stage as him, play in front of the same people, and show him how much I appreciate and how much I've grown as a DJ since when he last taught me. My creative process begins as soon as I'm booked. The first thing that I like to do is understand what kind of crowd I'm playing for, whether that be the genres, the decades, the vibe in general, and then from there, I look at what I have first and see if it's enough, and if not, then I get more. And as soon as that process starts, it really puts the ball rolling when it comes to how I practice. And I practice as if I was there every single time. And that's how I get the creative juices flowing whenever I'm practicing for a DJ gig. I hope my music and my DJ career helps inspire other DJs the same way that I was inspired. The same way that I was once sitting down at my desk watching YouTube videos of my favorite DJs, I truly and genuinely hope that I can create the same feeling in another up-and-coming DJ.
JAKOB, he's very inspiring. I see his grit and his intentionality on delivering the highest quality of his craft, and I commend him for that.
One of the biggest lessons I wish I learned growing up as a DJ is making sure that I'm staying true to who I am and what message that I want to portray. It's okay to gain inspiration from other DJs, but the most important part is taking that information and translating it into the way that I see and feel the music. And that is one of the biggest lessons I wish I learned. I wish and hope that my DJ career is a representation of who I am as a person, whether it's through the song selection, whether it's through scratching, or whether it's through smiling and having a good time. And the way that I plan to do that is, number one, by DJing as much as humanly possible and making content that will document that entire journey.
I think JAKOB is a really creative, smart guy. He's doing something in the industry that is very tough to do, which is creating content on a daily basis.
He scratches and his turntablism is something that I haven't seen when I was coming up as a DJ, and I really respect him for that.
Do what I want, do what you need. No, ain't the same, cause ain't nobody else like me.
Late night, what you doing, what's up? I don't man, oh, what I stuff. A bad bitch gon' do what she wants,
The advice that I would give to an up-and-coming DJ is make sure that you're DJing for the right reasons. Whether that be through wanting to express yourself through music or through picking up a hobby that you think just looks cool. Don't forget that why as you continue to keep on progressing in your DJ career. And definitely, definitely, definitely be unique and be you.
And I've been feeling so incredible, or have you know? I'm feeling better than I was before.
My name is Michael Dimatulak. I go by the name DJ Maz, also known as DJ Maz D. My biggest music influence probably has to be the city which I grew up in, which is Carson, California. The city itself has a lot of culture and music influence which shapes the community. Me growing up at that city really attributed to all the music that I play right now. And there are other DJs there that shaped me to be where I'm at right now, which is Easy, Gabe, Audrey, JFERRER, Cash Carl. And being categorized as one of them is just a blessing.
Mazdi, he is the golden boy. He is the prince of rewind, if you call it. He represents Carson. I think if you see his face and get to meet him in real life and actually have a chance to talk to him, he is exactly everything that I've talked about, why he is the way he is. At the end of it, he is that guy.
I think what makes my music unique is being able to add my personality to it. I believe that I play music that you don't expect to hear at the club, but at the same time maintaining an energy where you're able to have fun with it, even though it's not something that you expect. I think my music evolved throughout the years, being able to play in the nightlife industry, being exposed to all these other DJs, and adding a little bit of twist of my own style and uniqueness to it. I believe that you can't come in with a mindset that you know what you're gonna play because you don't know what's gonna go through those doors. So I always keep an open mind and a blank slate of mind, knowing that I could just be playing anything from hip hop to R&B to EDM. So like creativity is a really big part of it, and being able to connect is the most important part. I think the most rewarding part about being a DJ is not about the money, it's being able to connect with the crowd and being able to make someone's night. I think I get more rewarded knowing the fact that people would come up to me and say that, oh, like, you're the best DJ that I've ever heard, or you really made my night.
I used to ask him if I could shadow him, if I could go to gigs with him, and I would take out my notes app and I would write the songs that he's playing down and all the transitions, and I would try it by myself.
And there was one time where I was playing for Legacy and I felt like I was on top of the world, being able to just like control the crowd and how they move and just being in completely in the zone was definitely like a reminder of why I do this in the first place.
And I really like his energy and the way he plays for the crowd and turns it up every time.
The biggest advice that I would have to give for any aspiring DJs out there that want to start their career is to not be discouraged. I believe like coming up as a DJ that you will have a lot of people that will doubt you or think that you can't do it. And I wish that someone said that to me when I was like coming up as a DJ, because I feel like there was a lot of DJs out here right now, and you know, making it as a DJ seems like it's hard, but if you truly believe in yourself and you're passionate about like what you work on, then it will reflect on your music and people gravitate towards it more.
Not only have I seen that dude progress as a DJ, but I continue to see it happen as he headlines different events that are around the OC and LA area, and I just can't stop giving that dude his flowers for all the cool things he's doing.
But somehow it's you that I really want. You and I together, there's something like a bond. I know it's stupid, this shit is useless. I ran out of excuses.
Hi, my name is ATHENA Pham. I'm 26 and born and raised in Orange County. What drew me into DJing was actually my best friend, Michelle. You might know her as SEDUZA in the industry. She's a really renowned hip hop and trap dubstep DJ, and we met about 2 years ago. I went to this festival together in February, and it's like a house festival, and that was like the beginning of our friendship. So we decided to go together, and we were stuck in the parking lot for about an hour after, and I just decided to play like my house playlist on Spotify, and she just turns and looks at me. She's like in awe, and she's like, "Athena, like I really think you should be a DJ." And coming from her, that made me feel really special, and you know that she saw something in me and wanted to support that and show me. So yeah, that's kind of what planted the seed.
My baby girl, that's my bestie. Athena has been my B2B partner, my treacherous twin, and it's been really cool to see how her career has skyrocketed.
My biggest influence in music and in life would be my dad. He's been a composer, producer, conductor, and just in the music industry for like more than 30 years. He was very involved in church, and just growing up my whole life, I was always around him playing the guitar, piano, and singing, and I would be by his side singing too. So I feel like growing up with that, I've just been introduced to a lot of musical skills, and that's kind of been ingrained in me, and I definitely feel like I picked something up along the way. I would describe my DJ sound as very groovy, like very bouncy, something that you can sing along to. It's a little familiar, but it also gets you to be out your comfort zone by like exploring new music and different artists that you might have not known before. I'm very big into like 80s, 90s music, so I try to pull those samples or like songs with that type of vibe and feel. Starting out, I would play at a lot of like underground warehouses, and that made my sound more dark and like tech house, you know, kind of like commercial stuff. And it's just, I've had to integrate like that type of environment along with like my groovy like 70s, 80s sounds. So I feel like if you come to any of my sets, you'll be meshed with that. There's a lot of challenges that come with being in the music industry. One of them being, you know, I transferred from having a marketing job into like this whole DJ and nightlife scene. And I still work my 9-to-5 job, but I would try to take what I've learned from like corporate, you know, being in the marketing industry for 5 years, and apply that to the music scene. And that would be like me being very ambitious and, you know, being a go-getter and putting myself in situations I was not ready for.
Athena is both a dope DJ as well as a dope business person. And I actually admire her ability to do both at the same time, because it is for sure not an easy task.
My first like real gig was for this renowned like underground warehouse. I was super excited. I played for them. I did great. So the following week I went to their event again, but I was attending and not playing. And immediately when I got there, you know, I hopped on stage and I told the DJ, I'm like, I'm the next DJ, so I could plug in and play. And that's worked for me once in the past, but, you know, I didn't realize that that would be like, you could be blackballed from the industry from doing that. And so once I plugged in, I played one song and someone tapped me on the shoulder and he was like, I'm the next DJ. And that was the owner who I met, who booked me. And so I was so embarrassed, and I immediately like unplugged and just walked out. And they asked me to play the next week for their show, and I was excited. I didn't say anything yet, you know, after what I just did. And they put me like opening, which was 9, and this is an afters, so, you know, headlining is like 2, 3 a.m. So obviously no one was gonna be there. And like they basically put me on, but they said like, we heard what you did, and, you know, we want you to know that that wasn't okay. And like, I just apologized profusely, and I was like, I'm so sorry, I can't believe I did that. But they liked me so much and they saw something in me. They asked me to continue to play for them every week after that. So that was a big learning lesson for me and a challenge to understand that even though you're ambitious, sometimes you have to learn when to sit down and, you know your place too. My advice to aspiring DJs is to put yourself out there. Put in the time, make your connections. Networking is really, really important, but not just for a transaction, right? You want to be very genuine in like who you're trying to meet and what you're putting out there. Don't just expect things from others just because you want to be put into positions, but really be genuine and a learner and open to, you know, diving into different genres and going to different events and staying longer hours than you would, you know, plan for. Because honestly, like that's something that I tried to do very early on in my career, and that's presented a lot of beautiful connections, meaningful connections, and people. And that's something that you can't just do online necessarily. You want to be able to show up and like bring your presence there and show people what you're about, not just from your music, but your personality. Because I think something that's undervalued in this industry is that people don't like to put their personality online. And I think like what makes a great artist or DJ is to have a brand. You know, you have a personality at the end of the day. Music is one large aspect of it, but so are you, right? So have something to be connected with to others, and just show up. I think the greatest thing about the music industry is that there really is no capacity to it. So aside from making timeless music, I want to play at all the large festivals like Coachella or EDC, but I feel like I'll really be making it if I play like in Ibiza or like alongside other artists that I've been looking up to. But my first Coachella was last year, and it was very exciting because I was just around all these diverse musical groups and people, and it was such a beautiful experience. How I want to make an impact in the music industry is to inspire other Asian Americans, especially females, to be comfortable with putting out their creativity and musical aspirations out there. I think in this industry it is very male dominated, but also we don't see a lot of diversity for Asians, and I hope to be like the next Peggy Goo.
Sorry, I know I'ma drive you crazy, crazy, yeah. You know I'ma drive you crazy, crazy, yeah. Nasty, baby, ain't no debating, yeah. 101, ain't no mistaking us.
So my name is RJ. I go by DJ Way 2 Pack. I'm from Diamond Bar, California. So what initially drew me into DJing is when I first started listening to SoundCloud mixes, specifically DJ Broken and DJ Maz D.
Way Tupac, yeah, I taught him a little bit of things.
And it got to the point where I would know the mix from front to back, and that's when I really thought, like, what if I try it myself and I could recreate some of these transitions. And I started my journey DJing for house parties for my fraternity, and that's where I got a lot of my experience. Some of my biggest musical influences as far as DJing, I would have to say Cheesy, Maz D, Broken, Good Morning Gabe, and Miles Medina. Something I love about all of them, some are more turntablist, some are about breaking new records, and I like to take a little bit from each of those and put into my own.
I believe that he's the DJ that I see loves DJing the most out of all the DJs that I've seen.
Way Tupac, he is the baby face, the golden child, way too hungry. This guy is always pestering me. I'm pretty sure he's pestering everyone of how he could get in, how to get gigs, how to get better. He's hungry, and I think that's the funniest and also the best part about him. He's gonna do whatever it takes to get what he wants.
This dude is an up-and-coming DJ for sure, and the thing that I love the most about that dude is it reminds me of the same exact feelings, the same exact energy that I had when I started DJing, and I see it in him.
So a memorable moment for me that inspired me to pursue DJing is when I was at a house party DJing. I was using someone else's laptop but my own controller. That's when DJ Mazdi went up to me and he said, "Oh, get a laptop, I'll give you a shot."
I saw his drive because we've been brothers for so long in our fraternity, and I wanted to get him up in the same level as where I'm at in the nightlife industry.
First thing I did was get that laptop and I started getting ready for my first gig. And the feeling that I had right before and after, I'll remember that forever, because it's a different feeling when you're up there playing for a crowd of people and they're enjoying the music that you really play. Once you're on those decks and you gain the crowd's trust and you're able to take them in any direction, see them sing and vibe with the music that you like, it's unmatched, because when I'm up there, I'm not thinking about the past or the future. It's just like you're in the present moment. I think one of the biggest challenges for me as a DJ is I'm an introverted person. Putting yourself out there and networking hasn't always been my strong suit. And that's one thing that made me really fall in love with DJing, is that you're able to interact with the crowd without saying a single word. I think what helped me overcome that is practice over time. I would say one of the biggest steps I've taken towards that is when I dropped my first mix. My biggest advice to aspiring DJs is know your music, practice, and don't be satisfied where you are, but don't stay there. There's always room to improve and expand on where you are as a DJ. Within the next 5 years, I would love to be able to work with artists, be able to put them in rooms they wouldn't think they would be, and play for major festivals, and also do private event gigging, like weddings and all types of stuff like that. Because my biggest goal is to be able to support myself off doing something that I really love.
I do what I want, and do what you need. No ain't the same, 'cause ain't nobody else like me.
Hi, my name is Jared. Most people know me as Jay, and I'm from the Sector 6, living in San Gabriel. Initially, what drew me into DJing was two main factors. One, the biggest factor was definitely my love for raving. When I was in college, I was a huge raver, fell in love with EDM, and that really inspired me to think about music differently, especially when I would see my favorite artists. The other biggest influence would have to be when I went to college, I used to go to parties a lot. At the parties, they would always play hip hop, and that was it. I ended up falling in love with hip hop also. So I have the two sides. One, my EDM side from being a raver, and two, my hip hop side from going to house parties in college. Two of the biggest musical influences for me that have withstood the test of time for all the years I've been DJing are one, Griffin, and two, Millennium. When I first started DJing, I was really into the feelsy, simpy, sad boy music, and that's initially all I wanted to do when I first started DJing. I feel like those two artists had the biggest impact on that kind of music when I first got into EDM. Even though I don't play that kind of music now when I perform live, I still take a lot of inspiration from them just because I find their music so enjoyable and easy to listen to. I would describe my unique DJing style as very high energy hip hop, bass house, trap, a little bit of dubstep, mixed with pop sing-alongs. I like to make my own edits of everything that I play, just so I can make it unique to myself as much as I can. Over the years, my style has changed a lot. In the beginning of my DJ career, I was only focused on like sad boy feels, EDM, and that's all I cared about. Because I was playing a lot of house parties in college, I ended up playing hip hop a lot, which at first I hated. I didn't want to play hip hop, but that has led me to now where I love playing EDM and I love playing hip hop. And the EDM has also evolved to where I went from playing only sad boy stuff to realizing that I actually enjoy just playing bangers and getting everyone dancing and jumping.
I really like the way he throws EDM and hip hop into the same set, and the crowd is always jumping.
I was the hip hop guy and he was the EDM guy, and being able to teach each other our own kind of sets of skills or music was something that I really appreciated of him.
The best part of being a DJ is being on stage, you have a packed crowd, and you're throwing down a set, and you feel good, and you look in the crowd, and everything you play, they're just going crazy. The energy's up, they're dancing, they're singing, they're having a good time. To me, there's no better reward than that as a DJ. Looking back 5 years ago when I first started DJing, I never thought I'd be where I'm at today, playing at these clubs that all my friends have been going to for years, and being able to do what I love. And if someone like me can do it, then I want to show everyone else that they can do it as well.
Jay is probably one of the coolest DJs that I've met in a while because he's super selfless and able to share the resources that he has at any time possible. Fun fact about him is that I was DJing at this event and the mixer that I was trying to connect to wouldn't connect to my laptop, but Jay was there with a USB ready to share for me to plug into anybody's laptop and continue the show and keep it pushing. And for that, I'm forever thankful.
My biggest piece of advice for all new DJs, you have to do two things. One, you either have to market yourself really well on social media, or two, you have to go in person and network with people if you're trying to book gigs. You can be the best DJ in the world and you could have all the skills, but if no one knows who you are, you're never gonna get booked. And I would say nowadays in the era of social media, it's more important to be good at marketing yourself and have a big social media presence than be like a cracked DJ. It sucks to say that because as DJs, we pride ourselves in being good at what we do, but just understand that in today's world, social media is so powerful and you have to have that influence. Most people won't get away with not having any sort of presence online while getting booked for gigs consistently. Don't be afraid to put your work out there when you first start. For me, when I first started DJing, I was really scared to put out content because I felt like, what if it's not good enough? What if people, I don't know, I get hate for having a bad mix. But you know what? That's bound to happen, especially when you first start. And the earlier you put out content, the earlier you promote yourself as a DJ to other people, the sooner you give yourselves opportunities to get booked and play at events you want to do, play at other gigs, play at these venues that you've been going to for so long that you see other DJs playing, that eventually that could be you.
So I keep running. Baby girl, this shit ain't funny. Lately I been riding out in my bed, tryna get our memories on my head.
Hey guys, this is Brian, and I go by DJ Broken. I think for most people, college is a time to where people are learning about themselves and realizing what they want to do or at least try to do. And so in my head at the time, I really wanted to change myself into being from a shy and timid kid into being something more. I told myself that I really want to find something that I'm really passionate in. My first year of college was going to a lot of raves, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, and I fell into a spot to where I actually joined a fraternity at my school. This fraternity at the time I was able to meet one of my mentors and also one of my brothers that I met the same day, and we were talking about raving and how it'd be cool to DJ and be up there in terms of like festivals and stuff. So he kind of gave me these words of like, hey, you're still young, why don't you do it? What's holding you back? And for whatever reason, I was so passionately motivated that the next day I went into a Guitar Center, I think, and I used my financial aid money that I was supposed to use for school to buy a little controller. And as soon as I opened the box, I told myself, okay, I spent the money, there's no going back, and that's kind of how I got started. I think one of my biggest challenges from DJing is definitely how I got first started. From trying to learn DJing through YouTube videos, I was definitely lost, and I didn't really have or knew anyone that DJed as well, and so I really was hungry to learn more. That's when I found out about the school called the Academy of DJs, which is a 15-week boot camp teaching you everything about DJing. And after looking at all the Instagram and their content and showing these people play, or at least having a large community of DJs that are together, I was really wanting to join. And so I did the application, wrote it in, and I got an email back saying that I didn't get in. I kind of assumed that since it was a lot of applications at the time, but in that email they said that there was private courses available, and so I told myself I still wanted to learn, and so I took those private lessons under Earl and Obra. After those private lessons, I still tried to enjoy DJing. I still tried to go out and do gigs or try to just get my name out playing at college events. Eventually, that was still fine until the next season of Academy DJs came. I was really amped up of really joining that season 6, because of everything that I was following with Academy DJs the year before. And so I pretty much put a lot of my time into that application. And when I got an email back saying I didn't get in, it hurt. And I think the icing on the cake was saying that I was too experienced to be a part of Academy DJs. I told myself, hey, I'm gonna still keep climbing. I'm gonna still keep doing this thing because I love DJing. The pinnacle of these challenges was when the third time, season 7 Academy DJs came out. Even though they denied me because I had too much experience, I pretty much wrote more about how I really wanted to be part of a community of DJs and really thought I would gain a lot from the school. And so I sent my application in and just had to wait. And that was also during the time where a big nightclub called Arena K-Town was open. And so I knew if I wanted to get into the club scene, I had to get in there somehow. And so they were also hiring promoters. And so my thought was either, hopefully, 1, I could get into Academy DJs, 2, work my way up as a promoter to play for Arena K-Town, or 3, figure out what else is there. And after a long time waiting, I eventually got a call from David Ho, the owner of Academy DJs, and I got accepted. I think around the same time, I met David Ho and also the other owners of Arena K-Town, and they knew that I was a DJ. And so both of those happened at the same time to where I was accepted into the school, and I became a resident on the Thursday nights at Arena. And from there, it was just a big relief knowing that I made it, or this was a sign of how this could be real, or at least the ceiling has been broken. So with No Requests, my intention at the time was to bring nightlife to Torrance. Torrance is my hometown. So after being in the nightlife, I really wanted to bring that kind of experience back in my area. And so we started doing small events, and it was doing pretty good, and it was growing. And from there, a lot of people kept asking, what's the next move? What's the next move? We eventually moved to our event in LA, which is this rooftop elevated hip-hop party now. Back then it was just a goal to bring nightlife to the area, but now I think the reason why it's called No Requests, at least to me, is that it's no requests, it's no restrictions. You don't have to be anybody to go into a club and have fun. Being able to trust the DJs to play their music and having people arrive and not have any skepticism or anything. You could just be yourself. I think that's what No Request is now. And seeing how big the team is and seeing where it's going, I think, 1, it's my passion project of seeing how far this could go.
DJ Broken is a super dope DJ, and fun fact, he actually was the reason I got to play at Arena K-Town for the first time. And since then, I've seen him do amazing things, like start his own party and just continue getting better as a DJ.
If people were to hear the word broken, I hope that one, when they hear it, they could say, dang, like he's a really good DJ, or he is really about this, or making DJing a real thing. In terms of my legacy and whatnot, I really hope that I'm a figure in the scene that is really motivational, as I think all the opportunities I've been given so far in my life, whether it's meeting people, getting to play at places, or even turning this into a career, has been so much for me that I want to provide that for others. Whether it's you taking that first step into learning a new passion, or getting into DJing, or just not being scared in life. I want to be that person that helps others get to where they want to be.
Yeah, DJ Broken taught me.
Broken was someone I looked up to as a DJ. He was one of the first influences that I have coming into the nightlife industry.
He was my teacher, so he taught me the fundamentals of what I know today. It was definitely like a full circle moment for me.
And that guy's my mentor. That guy, my guide through nightlife when I first started getting consistent into everything.
Won't know a man to change ever change me. When you straight from the lows, it get many. And you stand 10 toes with shit crazy. Yeah, understandably so. You wanna change the weather, can't imagine.
What's good? My name is Michelle. I'm a Filipino Chinese American DJ from the IE, and I go by the name of DJ SEDUZA. My journey as a DJ began when I was in college. I was with my ex at the time, and he was a DJ. And when I was waiting for grad school, he taught me how, and I literally fell in love with it. And from there on, I actually dropped out of grad school for a lot of different reasons, but I fortunately found a DJ school, and that's where my journey began in pursuing DJing for fun. Number one of the most important musical influences has to be my parents. My dad was a drummer at the church, and my mom was always playing music in the household, whether it's from 70s music, 80s music, soul, funk, disco, old school R&B, and I felt like that really influenced the simpy and the feeling-based side of myself. And then as I grew older, I was still an only child, so music pretty much has been the solution to all my free time. So I'm grateful for YouTube for exposing me to electronic music, SoundCloud, to all the kind of experimental music. And now I feel like I'm just a music lover that wants to express and share all good music to the world. Two of the biggest challenges in my DJ career up to this day still has been the balance between having boundaries and also overcoming risk-taking. When it comes to risk-taking, I think to overcome that problem for me has just been reminding me that in this world of a rat race, where are we racing to? And at the end of the day, there is no race. Like, to remind myself that good things take time and you shouldn't rush greatness. At the end of the day, risk-taking is just learning what works for us and what doesn't. And if it doesn't work out, to not be so hard on myself. Like, I would have days where I have a really bad day and I just try to find the solution in the moment of being very emotional. And I would try to make decisions when I'm very high emotional. And I learned that I need to just embrace the emotions and go with the flow and allow them to subside. And I felt like my career definitely had a shift when I changed that mindset.
DJ SEDUZA is dope. She is one of those DJs that can really do it all. A lot of the times, DJs nowadays are just focused on the music, but she's a hustler. She is someone who is making moves, both not only in the music industry, but for her personal brand, and I really admire that about her.
When I first started DJing, I told one of my mentors that I want to be a DJ. And he said, Michelle, you just gotta say you're a DJ. And then you have to own that identity. And I think people complicate it sometimes, myself included, but DJing doesn't have to be pursued as a career. I think DJing, at the end of it, for me, has just been a deepening of my relationship with music. And that's what DJing is. So if you're gonna start, just think of it as you're just trying to build your relationship with music. And then from there, you can take the risks that you want, and you don't have to, and that you don't need to feel the pressure of the world against you. If you want to play music and you want to do that, then do that, and no one really can take that away from you. just get silly, have fun with it, and that's what it's supposed to be.
My first impression of SEDUZA was her vibrant energy. I believe like not only through her music can she light up a room, but also like the way that she interacts with people and her ability to make connections with everyone.
One of my most memorable experiences as a DJ was when I DJ'd my first festival. It was for the 88 Rising Festival, Head in the Clouds. And why it was so memorable to me was, number one, I got to play the music that I love, and it's very seldom when you get an open opportunity to play the music that represents you and you represent. But other than that, I was able to bring along with my family, which was my mom and my 2 younger sisters. And in this industry of DJing, a lot of time has been sacrificed to spend time with them. So when I get to overlap 2 things that mean a lot to me, which is my career and music and my family, and to see my family get to be there with me in this important moment, it was just a very memorable experience. And this nightlife, life moves very fast, so to have a memorable experience is really important. At the end of the day, we're just monkeys in this world who can talk, and we can decide whether or not we want to choose a life that's fulfilling or let the noise around us lead the lives for us. When it comes down to our demons and our feelings, just do it. And at the end of the day, it's not going to be as hard as we think. And when it does become hard, it is hard. Life is hard. But if it was easy, everyone is gonna do it. So just know that the people in your circle do support you and love you, and that for me, at the end of the day, I've come to learn that I am my biggest enemy and that we don't have to be.
And you're so patient.
Your new thing, she boring, she been dry. I'm yawning early in the morning, I'm up now. Any weapon formed against me gonna get struck down. Even old foes acknowledge and know what's up now. I just wanna win some way, sometime, somehow, but fuck that. I've been on my grind, on my teeth bad. Need a Ferrari from when I couldn't leave my car seat back. Window stuck, I need a bip on my own shit. Stuck in class writing raps on this map, I can't focus. Dreams are getting paid so well, I could buy off the mall. Fuck a driver, need a pilot, have the plane on call. Either lose or you win, boy, there ain't no options. Been me undeniably, this ain't no